Those of us that watched Francis Ngannou come up through the ranks of the UFC got to witness something special. I mean, this man went on a tear through the heavyweight division. One fight after another, he is out there flatlining his opponents with devastating one-punch knockout power. What Ngannou brought to the octagon was something that we had never seen before. And even after he got beat by Stipe, we still saw him come back and correct that in true Francis Ngannou fashion. Devastating knockout. But I have to admit, when I saw him step away in what at that point was the pinnacle of his career, I was a little surprised. And then we got the bombshell news. Francis Ngannou would be fighting Tyson Fury on October 28th. And that's when it all started to make sense. That's when the pieces of the puzzle all started to fall in place. Now, Tyson Fury is a special fighter. We've seen him dethrone two really notable men. One was the most dominant heavyweight of his generation, Vladimir Klitschko. Now look, I wasn't the biggest fan of Klitschko, didn't exactly enjoy what he brought to the table, but he was dominant and somebody still had to go out there and beat him. That somebody was Tyson Fury. Then he comes back years later, still undefeated, and he defeats the man that everybody's afraid of, right? Boxing's version of Francis Ngannou, so to speak, Deontay Wilder. Look, Deontay Wilder was doing the same thing as Ngannou. He was just running through the heavyweight division, absolutely flooring people with devastating power. But Tyson Fury went in there and he solved that puzzle too. Over the course of 3 fights, he got dropped multiple times, but he continues to get up, continues to go out there and deliver punishment, and ultimately, he drops Wilder, comes home with the stoppage victory in 2 of those 3 fights. And that brings us to where we are now. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Now look, this isn't exactly the fight that boxing fans wanted to see Fury in. That's Fury versus Usyk. Looks like we're going to get that later on down the road. And this isn't exactly the fight that MMA fans wanted to see Ngannou in. That's Ngannou versus John Jones. Likely to never happen. But it's the fight that we're getting. And to be perfectly honest, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, not because I think it's going to be competitive, because for the most part I don't. I'm looking forward to it. I guess just as a true fan, right? I want to see both men perform. I think the production value is going to be high, and there's just an entertainment factor to it, right? It's really nothing more than that, to be perfectly honest. You know, that's it. That's all. And I hate to be blunt about it, but I do not see Francis Ngannou was going in there and having a real chance to win this fight. I mean, look, based off of his age, based off of his lack of experience in boxing, based off of all the things that we've seen, how long he's been out of the ring, the fact that he is fighting Tyson Fury, no, I just do not see it happening. Okay, now you can make the argument he's got a puncher's chance. I mean, we talked about the nuclear bomb that he's got in his right hand, but look, as we sit here today and we're talking, I'm not even so sure that I'm going to give him this puncher's chance. All right. Now, look, if we had never seen Tyson Fury in there with Deontay Wilder, I'd give Ngannou much more of a chance. But after we saw the way that Fury handled Deontay's power, after we saw him get up off the canvas multiple times, I'm not so sure that Ngannou can get him out of there with that infamous one-punch power that he's got. Now, if he went in there and he landed some combinations and stuff, yeah, for sure. He's absolutely got very good power. But let's ask ourselves an honest question here. Does he have one-punch power with 10-ounce gloves in the boxing ring? Okay, I've watched these tapes and this footage of Ngannou training, and he does not look like he's on the level of a world-class boxer, man. He's not in there moving smoothly, flowing in his punching combinations. He does not appear to be really comfortable at mid or close range for extended periods of time. He doesn't transition smoothly between offense and defense. And we've got the 2 big questions, in my opinion, right? Number 1, does Ngannou have more punching power than Wilder in a boxing ring? And what I mean by that is wearing 10-ounce gloves and going against guys that are blocking your shots with 10-ounce gloves. And number 2, can Ngannou even land with all that power? If we're being perfectly honest, okay, Tyson Fury isn't just a punching bag standing in front of you where you get to line up at the distance you want, take the time, and then all of a sudden crack your shot off. We're talking about landing it against a highly trained man who doesn't want you to land that punch. That means you got to set it up. That means you got to hide it. That means you got to get his timing and then go out there and land your shot. We're talking about a man who has no boxing experience. He's been out of combat for a long time. He's got the bad knee. We're looking at his age. We're looking at somebody that would be the biggest person that he ever fought, which gives him more defensive opportunities. Look, I'll be the first to admit that Tyson Fury isn't isn't a perfect fighter by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got this one in the bag. I mean, I see this one as being a rough fight for Francis Ngannou, okay? I'm happy he got the fight. I'm happy he's getting the payday. I absolutely love the fact that he was willing to walk away from the UFC while he held the belt at the pinnacle of his career. Right? We heard that he was going to get offered, or he did get offered, the biggest contract that any UFC fighter had been offered. Walked away from all that, and he made this one happen, man. He did the difficult part. He made this fight with Tyson Fury materialize. Like, he brought it from the thought to reality. Man, and that's a beautiful thing. But on October 28th, this is going to be Tyson Fury all night long. So let me know what you guys think. Am I overlooking what Ngannou brings to the table? Tyson Fury, if we're also being honest with each other, he looks out of shape even according to his standards. Is he going to get caught cold? Is he underestimating what's in front of him? Let me know what you guys think.